It's time to take A Therapeutic Dose, a prescription-strength reality TV podcast that explores the intersection of reality TV and therapy. Possible side effects may include entertainment, strong emotional reactions, and/or laughter. Here are your hosts, Ramona Ramirez and Margee McGee.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Therapeutic Dose, where we meet at the intersection of reality TV and therapy. I am Margee McGee, and with me, as always, is my dear friend and co-host.
Hello, everybody. I am Ramona Ramirez. Margee, I love you so much. It's
love
so
you
good
too.
to see you. Thursdays are my favorite days.
It's the best.
It's the best. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, just in case people watch this on YouTube, I'm having an allergic reaction to shellfish, so there's some puffiness going on. A Zyrtec has been taken, but I look and feel a little weird.
I also feel like I look a little weird. I was going to say this last week, but I was embarrassed. It's so stupid. I had lip injections done for the first time a
They look
week and a day
great.
ago. Thank you. I feel like I look like Larsa Pippen, and it
I don't know
mortifies
why
me.
but why do you say, like, that's a bad
Be-
thing? You think her
I
face is ugly? She's, like,
I don't think
gorgeous.
I think that Larsa. Okay, I hate commenting on women's looks. It's not what I want to do, and the way I'm going to say this about Larsa is not a diss. Her face looks overfilled to me. Listen, I am all about an injectable. This is the first time I've had fillers in my mouth. I haven't had it under my eyes for, oh my God, I don't even know how long it's been. I don't remember if I did it before Leo or after I was done breastfeeding, but it's been forever. It's worn away. I'll treat myself to some Botox when I can afford it. I'm pro injectable. When I see my face, when I see my lower lip, and I see my upper lip too, there still could still be some swelling going on. I feel like it. I feel like it looks like there's shit in there, and I didn't want that. I just wanted I always thought the lines in my lips were because my lips were dry. I did not know until recently that your collagen, it just disappears everywhere, including your lips, and that's why mine were full of lines. Looking at my mouth, I don't recognize it. I just don't, I don't recognize the lower half of my face anymore. And it feels weird. And to me, it just looks like too, overfilled
Do you not like it? Like, are you
Larsa
gonna
Pippen lips. I don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to see if I can go to my place tomorrow and just have them tell me if this is normal or if it's still swollen. I don't have a baseline. I've never had it done in my mouth before. There are certain things I really like, but there's certain things that I'm just like, oh my God. I don't how can everyone not tell that I've had shit put in my lips?
It's really
I don't
not
know.
extreme, and
Okay.
also everyone has shit put in their mouth, you know what I
I
mean?
know they do, but
And yeah.
I feel like a lot of women on a lot of these franchises, I'm not just going to call out Larsa. When I can tell, like Vicky Gunvalson, you can tell if someone like Heather Dubrow has, you can't tell. It's just, it feels like it feels like too much. For now. I don't know. I also don't fucking know. And it's so I just, all of a sudden I got really ashamed that I'm even talking about this as much as I am. Who
No, but I
cares?
think, like, the
Honestly.
Larsa Pippen piece is probably that, like, it's a total like, she's done a total facial reconstruction, whether it's
She
been surgical
has.
or just fillers. So I think that's
Yeah.
why you're saying that that's so severe and extreme, but you just got,
Yeah.
like, the lines in your lips
I
plumped, that's
did.
all.
It's just every time I see it, I'm like, holy shit, you
Well,
know?
I think it
Anyway,
looks amazing. I
thank
can't wait
you.
till it's
I
time for me to
know.
do such a thing, so fill me up. Can't wait.
Yeah, I know. I know. I really, and my injector did exactly what I wanted. I'm like, I just wanted them to look like they did when I was younger.
Mhm.
And maybe they do. I mean, they definitely don't look like they did. I don't know what I was expecting.
I just
But
don't see, like,
I
such an extreme it probably feels weird because there's
it
stuff in
feels
there,
so weird.
but it does not look yeah, it does not I'm not, like, doing a double take and having, like, arugula eyes, like, it's
Okay.
totally
Aruga. That's
arugula, it's
hilarious.
totally recognizable, Ramona.
Uh, but yes,
Um,
I listen, shoot my whole fucking face up with shit, honestly.
yes,
Honestly,
I can't wait.
shoot it all up. No shame at all to people that get shit done. No way. No how. Nope. And you know what? Listen, we're talking about Bravo, kind of talk about injectables, like all I can do now is like look like Katie Maloney's lips look fucking fantastic.
Mhm.
But some of her castmates, the tweaks look a little too Hallmark signs of injections. And I don't know. Whatever.
I
Whatever.
mean,
It's an
yeah,
experiment
it's
and
an
we'll see,
imperfect art, but, like, literally everyone does it.
you
Like,
know?
people on TV, people in offices, like, it's
Everybody.
just everyone. It's like getting a
Yeah.
haircut now. It's,
Totally.
yeah.
Totally. All right. So before we get into it, if you're enjoying yourself, please rate, please review, please subscribe. We are available wherever you can stream podcasts. We're on Spotify. I don't know if Google Podcast still has a Google. Someone was getting rid of their podcast platform, but obviously you can find us on Apple Podcasts. If anyone subscribes to anything on Podbean, that's where we put our episodes and that they send out our feed to all the other podcast networks. So yes, please, we would really appreciate it. Pass it on to your friends. And we are on YouTube. So if you are someone that likes to watch versus listen, or you want to do both,
If you wanna
you
see
know,
Ramona's lips and my swollen
if
eyes,
you want to see my lips,
my shellfish allergy reaction,
Margie's
come check it out.
shellfish allergy reaction, like check it out. Yeah. Yeah. We're just happy to share our thoughts, our experience, our reactions to these people. And if you like it too, we're just so glad that you're enjoying it as much as we're enjoying talking about it.
Preach.
Bottom line. Yes. Yes. So we are talking about Vanderpump. We're bringing it all back home. I know that we know that Vanderpump already started, but this is what kicked off our podcast almost a year ago. It'll be a year, I think, in May or June, and we started with the when cameras had picked back up through the reunion of Vanderpump Rules, and since we've been assured that the second half of the season is going to bring us a lot of entertainment and content for all intents and purposes, we're bringing it back to where we started. This
Yeah, and
is this is the
apparently
genesis of a therapeutic dose.
yes, and
Vanderpump
apparently
Rules.
they shot the reunion this weekend, I guess, and it was, like,
Mhm.
explosive and,
Mm,
lots of talk of breaking the fourth wall and, like, all the buzzwords I love to hear about a reunion, so
dude,
I'm thrilled.
I'll I'll believe it when I see it. I'm just making sure I'm close to my mic.
I mean, it'll
Fucking
never be a Scandival worm with a mustache
no,
reunion, but, I don't think
no.
it's a waste of our time. It'll
I
be
I
better
wonder
than
if
Real Housewives reunions with
Jesus.
Anne
Do you
Marie
think?
just being a bump on a
Oh,
log and Sutton briefly fainting.
speaking of Anne Marie, I guess let's touch on some things. So Karen Huger was charged with a DUI this morning. This is
Wow.
Thursday, March 21. She was in a car accident yesterday. I don't know if she totaled her Maserati, but she crashed it so much that it wouldn't start and it had to be towed away.
Oof.
And she was charged with her second DUI. Now, the first report that came out after it had been reported that she crashed was that she was feeling very emotional. She had just come from a conversation that she was having with a friend that was emotional, and she mentioned that the closer we get to Mother's Day, the harder of a time she has because she's still
Yeah,
grieving the loss of her mom.
yeah.
Yeah, she was charged with her second DUI. Oh, Karen, I'm sending
Tough.
I'm sending thoughts and prayers, and I'm glad that she wasn't hurt, and I'm glad that nobody else was hurt,
Yeah.
but that's real scary.
I
It's real
wish
scary.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Bravo is gonna start to have some liability in some of this, or they maybe some responsibility, at least while they're recording. There's so many lunches where they have 10 martinis and then they both get in their cars and leave, and it's like, that seems bad, especially to put on camera, you know?
I don't know if they were recording, but
No, but
this was just
I'm
I don't
just
know if
saying,
if she was
yeah.
coming from a Bravo lunch or anything.
No, and, what they do in their own time is
I
their
think
own
she was just coming from a
business.
lunch. Oh,
But on camera, it feels like don't you think
sure,
when they
sure.
have, like, a 10 martini lunch and then they show them getting in their cars and driving away? That's always rubbed me the wrong way. I'm
Yeah,
just
that's
like
pretty fucked up. Like,
and Kim Zolciak
especially,
in her car with, like, a wine in a tumbler with a straw. I'm just like, "This is
do they
illegal," I'm
have open
pretty sure.
container laws? Because you can drive with a roadie in some states. Like, I'm pretty sure in Texas you can do it. Listen, don't quote me on
Yeah.
that. I don't know what the recent laws are,
It
but
just feels like Bravo could do themselves and
right.
the public a favor by demonstrating car service behavior. If you have
Exactly.
a
And
drink at lunch,
seriously,
take an Uber. And
because
again, I'm bringing my own experience onto this. I picked up a friend from the Van Nuys Women's Prison upon an arrest for her DUI, and it scared me straight. If there's a chance that I'll be in the vicinity of a champagne bottle when it opens, and some of it will brush up my nose, a bubble will brush up my nose, I'm not driving.
yeah.
I don't want to go to Van Nuys Women's Prison. It looked awful.
Oh my God.
So,
Oh, I
if
remember this.
anyone oh god, it was so
Yeah.
and they held her for hours unnecessarily, hours, hours, hours. It
Fudge.
was just awful. Anyways, so that's why I want everyone to be spared Van Nuys Women's Prison or the equivalent if at all
I'm not
possible.
laughing because it's funny. I'm just like, yeah, I want everyone to be spared of that too. No, there are some
Terrible.
people that I don't mind that go to fucking prison. I really don't mind. But I'm the asshole of this duo.
No,
I'm the
there's
shadow. You're the light.
no.
It's all right. I'm okay with my rule. On my role, I'm totally okay with it. And then this morning, the news started going around that Anna Marie Wiley has not been asked to come back to Beverly
Oh,
Hills, and she had wanted to come back next year so that she could show.
do something?
Yeah, well, like she wanted to show like her family in a positive light, et cetera, et cetera. Show what a great husband Marcellus is. And I just, God, Candace Owens and multiple accusations of sexual assault. I don't want to fucking see you back. I don't give a shit what you were planning to do next year. Alleged sexual assaults. But like, don't spin it. Like if I'm doing problematic shit and I am associated with people that do problematic shit and then I'm fired, I don't know who I'm supposed to look at but me in the mirror, you know? It wasn't about the esophagus. That made her more unpalatable to me that she was so like fiercely attached to that. And she said that a lot of the things that was shot was left on the cutting room floor, which,
I'm
you
sorry, then
know,
it must not have been very interesting. Do you know what I mean?
oh, believe me,
I just say, like, she's not interesting. I don't
she's
care
not.
what you think you wanna show us, like, whatever was left on the cutting room floor sucked, because otherwise
Yeah.
they would've put it in. They're not
And
looking for a way to they want a good show, and you didn't give them one, so, like, sorry, see ya.
and it's it's one thing if no, okay, this is gonna sound real fucked up. I'm just trying to hmm, how do I explain this? There's no excuse, in my opinion, for liking Candace Owens. And there's no excuse for making excuses for, oh, see, I say this out loud and I'm such a fucking hypocrite. I'm
Do you
such a
like
fucking
Candace
hypocrite.
Owens?
No, I don't like
Okay.
Candace Owens. I don't like Candace Owens.
Then what's hypocritical?
Oh, God. I love Kobe Bryant.
Mhm.
I love Kobe Bryant. You know, he was accused of the, he was accused of heinous things. And like, I don't get to pick and choose who has been accused of sexual assault to like, and
Mhm.
I can say all the things like, he dedicated so much of his life after that happened to uplifting women in sports, but it's not fair that I get to say, "No, Anna Marie, you don't get to be on fucking Bravo because of Marcellus," but I have a whole stack of Kobe Bryant t-shirts, hats, a jersey, like,
It's tough,
I
it's that
I
the
can't believe I'm saying this out loud on the
No,
internet.
but I mean, that's like the complexity of the human experience. If everything was black and white, we'd all get everything right all the time and have no problems. But it makes me think about that 12-step concept of everyone is entitled to the dignity of their own experience. So the women who were in the basketball leagues that Kobe supported had their experience with him, which was positive, and that's
Very.
their experience. The woman in the hotel room he shattered her life. That was her experience,
Yeah.
and it's hard then, like, I mean, it shouldn't be hard, but it's complex to figure out how to sort out feelings around someone who sucks. It's like I have friends who worship Michael Jackson and to this day struggle with like, can you separate the music from the man? And I
Yeah.
struggle that way with Kanye. I fucking
I know,
love
dude.
Kanye,
I
old Kanye.
know.
But what's
Yeah.
happening now, it's relentless and it's
Yeah.
not stopping. It's
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
crazier and I can't yeah, there's no justification. I just recently threw away my college dropout sweatshirt because I was like, I haven't worn this in years. I'll never wear it because it's tainted and that's sad, but off it goes. It was so cute.
Oh,
Really miss it,
fuck.
but I can't wear it. It feels gross.
I mean, there's so much music that now when I listen to David Bowie, anything by the Rolling Stones. I haven't played Michael Jackson in years, but if I'm out and I hear it, it's hard not to bop along. I mean, Chrissy Hynde and Kim Gordon, Chrissy Hynde from The Pretenders, Kim Gordon from Sonic Youth, two women that I just adored. They're both victim blamers when it comes to sexual assault. There's a book that my sister loaned me that I haven't started reading yet because I have a fucking stack of goddamn books I'm reading. It's called Monster, and it's exactly about what we're talking about, how to reconcile, how to separate the art from the artist. I mean, like all my favorites. Bob Dylan, like all of them.
He's a
Every
problem? Bowie? What
he
was Bowie's problem? Oh, no. Maybe I don't wanna
Bowie,
know. I love David
Bowie,
Bowie.
I know, so do I. I mean, like, so fucking much. I mean, they just were constantly sleeping with with children.
Oof.
And it was a time when it was just, it was a time when shit wasn't like it is now. And it's not that it's that much better now, but I love so much of Taylor Swift's catalogs. She dated Maddie Healy, who's a fucking racist, like literally a racist in public. And
She was that was short though, right?
it
Didn't
was
she,
short.
like, come
It
to
was
learn and
short,
then she was
but
like, "Oh, good. Bye."
I don't
Or
know
no?
how soon she learned. I mean,
Oh, okay.
everyone knew. Everyone
I
fucking
didn't know.
knew.
I learned via Taylor that he's a monster,
Yeah.
but
And
glad to have the
so
information.
I just like I'm not a perfect person, but I've never sexually assaulted anybody and I've never committed statutory rape. I've never been a racist. I've never been anti-fucking Semitic. I've never done lots of fucking things that constitute someone as a monster. Like I don't give a fuck if I ever watch a Woody Allen movie ever fucking again. I don't care. I love the movie Rosemary's Baby, but I can't even watch that because Casavetes was a fucking asshole too. Like obviously just problematic man on top of problematic man on top of problematic man. When it comes to Bravo, I didn't watch Real Housewives of Dubai because their human rights violations are legendary. Enslave people, fucking trafficked people. They're homophobic laws. And there were a lot of people that didn't watch Dubai for the same reason as me. But like, where do I draw the line? But I didn't give up. I didn't give up Real Housewives of New York when Ramona Singer was still on. What do I do? Like,
Hopefully, it's in the
what
answer's
do
in
I,
that book.
like, what do
I
we, what do
mean,
we
I
do?
think you can only do what you can in any given moment, and if everyone is conscious of that, like, maybe glacial change will occur, but I don't know. At least these incidents are getting more they're getting aired out a little bit more now.
Yeah.
Like, I watched some
Yeah.
of, Quiet on Set documentary.
Oh, I haven't
Oh,
started that yet.
oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
I could only get through, like, the first one, and then I talked to some friends yesterday, and they were like, "Oh, it gets way worse." I'm like, It started
Jesus.
terrible. It gets worse." And they were like, "Way worse." I'm like, "Okay." But at least people are talking about it, the willingness of these people to come forward and call it out. I don't know. It's interesting. It's not fun, but
It's,
it's important, I
my
guess,
God.
so
I
that
know.
because I just think that's why the Me Too movement happened is like it was just normalized in Hollywood. Like nobody said anything. I'm sure I've shared this story before. In my first writing job, I was told what to wear to tape night. I was told to wear a short skirt and boots because that's what they wanted to see, and I did. But I didn't think anything of it. I didn't blink. I was like, "Okay, cool,"
Jesus
because that's what I understood my
Christ.
job to be. I didn't know that that wasn't okay, and yeah, and it'll take a while because I feel like even today, if I was in a workplace and somebody said wear a skirt and boots, I'd probably be like, "Okay." Like, you wanna work so bad and you like your job so much that it's like, I guess a skirt and boots isn't anyways. This is neither here nor there. It's just
No,
it
I
feels like the more
understand.
stories like this get told, maybe the more people will realize like, "Oh, that's not as much as it was part of the working system for decades, we're gonna try to ease that out and just focus on joke writing," you know?
Mhm.
But it hasn't been like that since the inception of this industry, so it's gonna take a minute to right the
Oh my
ship,
god.
but but it's like that in any industry. My mom got in trouble. She was a lawyer in New York City in the '70s, and she got called into the office because she was dressing too sexy, and it was distracting all the men in the firm.
Oh, of
So
course. It was
she had to
her
I
fault.
know.
It was her fault.
She wore
What was she
yeah,
even fucking
a
wearing? She probably
Diane
wasn't.
von Furstenberg wrap dress.
Oh, for fuck's
But
sake.
apparently it was too body hugging and all the men just, like, got boners and couldn't do their law work, so she had to change her outfit.
So your mom had to change her outfit.
Right. But that's how it's been forever, so but I feel like
Why are men?
I mean, it's fine. I like, they don't know until they know, and that's the whole thing. It's like, people need to be informed and then educated how to change and then
I
given
know.
given the opportunity to change. I think so many people are afraid to acknowledge that they did something icky because they don't think they're not gonna be afforded the opportunity and the time to try to change. And that is my fear, is that everyone's trying to say like, "No, I'm not racist. No, I'm not harassing," instead of being like, "Oh, I didn't realize that was harassing. Let me understand what that's
Oh,
about and try to do it
yeah.
differently from here forward."
Like Dorit.
Yeah, instead of just
Yeah.
saying, it's that whole in on every job I've had, we have a segment of harassment training called unconscious bias, where you don't it's just ingrained in you. If you're a white person, you move through the world in a different you don't you don't expect to be accused of shoplifting. If it happens, that's uncomfortable, but, like, there's other people in this world who walk into a store and expect that. It's awful. But y if it's not
Yeah.
your experience, you don't
100%.
know, and so
Right.
anyways, it's slow change, but at least people are starting to, like, pull the curtains and shed some light on what's been going on in the dark
God.
places. How did this start?
Oh my god.
Kim Sowens? I
Oh,
don't know.
we were talking about Bravo News,
Oh,
like,
right.
basically, and I talked about how Anna Marie Wiley wasn't coming back, and then I had to fucking mea culpa myself, like, I'm I'm a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite, you know? Believe women has always been my thing. The day Kobe died felt like a family member died. It was
But that's the
yeah,
thing of,
I
like,
just
you don't have to you can believe what happened and also mourn the loss of an icon,
Yeah,
I guess? I say it
I know.
very
It's
unsurely because I don't know
me
what I'm
too.
saying. I don't
Me
know. I don't
too.
fucking know.
I know. I know. So,
Well, I
uh
want a full book report so that
oh,
I
on
can have some
Monster?
answers. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I'll see if it's audiobook, dude. I just like, when am I supposed to read all these fucking books?
I try to
I sound
read
like such an ass, but
No, it's the world we
honestly,
live in now. I try to read before I go to bed, but it's like immediately my eyes are like, "Good night."
yeah.
I open the
Yeah.
book and my eyes shut, so
I just have like, I'm trying to read Radical Acceptance by Tara Brach, Brach. She also has a podcast. I highly recommend it. She talks about a concept called RAIN. Basically, her whole thing is do not judge yourself no matter fucking what. The only thing that you should be doing with feelings or judgments that come up in your mind, because we are powerless over thoughts that come up, at least the first one, if we continue to like roll down the hill with them, that is something that we can fix. But I'm powerless over my thoughts. I'm powerless over my feelings. It's impossible not to have feelings or thoughts. So her whole premise is something that she calls RAIN. I have been doing it a lot more lately, and it has started to change my life. So she has a book called Radical Acceptance that I'm trying to get through. And then she also came out with a second book called Radical Compassion. But if you just want to hear about RAIN or her approach to having compassion for yourself and acceptance for yourself, her podcast has it's her feed is full of lectures, and it's also full of meditations, and her meditations are amazing. So sometimes when I'm doing ketamine at home, I have to let the ketamine dissolve and swish. I have to swish it for I try to swish it for at least 20 minutes to a half hour because I want all of the
20 minutes?
yeah, dude, it's not
Yeah.
fun doing it at home, and it tastes disgusting, I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
and I spit it out when I'm done because when you swallow it, you just get hungover the next day a little bit, and it can make you so nauseous. It's just not pleasant, so I've been swishing and then spitting. So while I'm waiting for the ketamine to kick in, I will often listen to one of her meditations, and then I'll switch to one of my ketamine playlists, but she's revolutionary and it's very simple. And she's very palatable. It's very easy to listen to Tara Brach. You know what? I will drop her podcast in the show notes. How about that?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you introduced me to her, and I listened to that podcast quite a bit.
Yeah. I think that it's just so it's very easy to comprehend what she's talking about. And so RAIN acronym.
By the way, this is how I behave in therapy. Whenever my therapist is like, "Do this," I'm like, "Oh, what does that mean? And oh, what is the end
Listen.
game?" And like, I have so many questions. I'm like a 5-year-old, but I want to
Okay.
understand.
No, I get it. RAIN Tara Brach. Recognize the feeling, allow the feeling or the judgment, investigate the feeling or the judgment, and nurture the feeling or the judgment. And let's see what she says about nurturing it. Nurture with self compassion. Recognize what is happening. Recognize what is the cause of the feeling coming up in your body or
I
the
see.
thought.
Okay.
Allow the experience to be there just as it is. Investigate with interest and care. Nurture with self compassion. Because honestly, I have never been able to judge myself into some fucking good ass feelings. I'll tell you that. I've
So
never
it's
been
like
able to do that.
it's nurturing yourself, not nurturing the judgment. I think that's where I was getting confused. It's like,
Right.
don't nurture a judgment, right? But nurturing
No,
yourself for having a judgment,
nurture yourself. Like it's
self
forget
forgiveness kind of stuff.
it's yes, it's
Okay.
self-forgiveness
Got
and
it.
yeah. Her website is tarabrach.com. BRACH is her last name. And oh, here we go. Self compassion begins to naturally arise in the moments that you recognize you are suffering. It comes into fullness as you intentionally nurture your inner life with self care. To do this, try to sense what the wounded, frightened, or hurting place inside you most needs, and then offer some gesture of active care that might address this need. Does it need a message of reassurance or forgiveness, of compassion, of love? Experiment and see which intentional gesture of kindness helps most to comfort, soften, or open your heart. It might be the mental whisper, oh, I'm going to cry. I'm here with you. I'm sorry, and I love you. I love you, and I'm listening. It's not your fault. Trust in your goodness. And then after you've done all the active steps of RAIN, it's important to notice the quality of your own presence and rest in that wakeful, tender space of awareness. The fruit of RAIN is realizing that you are no longer imprisoned in or identified with any limiting sense of self. Give yourself the gift of becoming familiar with the truth and natural freedom of your being. It is mysterious and precious. Wow.
That's lovely.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
speaking of people whose goodness we can't trust, should we
Shit,
talk
man.
about the
Yes.
Vanderpump Rules
This
kids?
is season 11, episode 8, Peaks and Valleys.
Ah,
My
ha, ha,
God.
ha. I get
My
it. I
God.
get it.
My
They live in the
God.
valley.
My God. Listen, I have never heard the Vanderpump Rules theme song by, what's her name? Deadly Dana. I have it. I
I
have
think
it.
it's that or Dina Deadly or something.
Dana
Some
Dudley or
combination of
right.
those ideas.
That song is so fucking inspiring. I'm sorry. It is like you can take Eye of the Tiger and shove it. I will take what is that song called? God, I should know
Raise
it.
Your Glass or something? I
Raise
don't
Your
know.
Glass, right.
Or is that a Pink song? I don't know.
It is such a good inspirational song. Like if I was a runner, which I'm not and I never will be, okay, I'm not going to ever say never because that's just you're just asking for it if you say that. But it would fully be on my runner's playlist. It's a good ass song. That's all I
It's
have
a
to
great
say.
song. I never fast forward through the opening
Me
credits.
either. Me either. Me either. I don't know. The first note I have is just that Sandoval's sartorial choices just make me embarrassed for him. It makes me so embarrassed.
God,
He's
he
so
is
embarrassing.
and talk about, like, someone who is relentless being a piece of shit, like, he just God. And, I mean, yeah, we start with Sheena and Brock getting Summer Moon dressed, and she's so cute in her little pink cast. She's adorable.
Mhm.
Then we
Mhm.
see Schwartz, who's in a mud mask and flossing, saying he's trying to get beautiful, and then we catch Joe, who lives with him. And I will just say, like, Joe, I really am enjoying Joe on the show, but I know if I was on a reality show, I would be at very high risk of getting a Joe edit because all they ever show her doing is going like, like, I feel like that. If you edited, you could find a way to edit me like Joe. I'm weird. I tell weird stories. I make weird faces and weird sounds. So part of me has a great deal of empathy for her, but she's a
Margie,
weirdo. She's a
we all
delightful
hear
weirdo.
you, and the people on YouTube watch us every week. I am just here to tell you that you are nothing like Joe.
I don't who and I don't think Joe's bad. I don't mind her. I feel like I would get along way better with her than I would with some of the other people. But if you take me on a walk around Echo Park Lake, you could cut together a Joe edit out of me real quick.
I
I'm
got
weird.
so mad when they were there. I was like, "Get the fuck out of my neighborhood."
I
Like, I
know.
don't get to gatekeep the East fucking side, okay?
I was glad that Echo Park got a little love. It's never been
I
on this
don't
show
I
before.
am t no, I don't think so. I mean, I know it's been on a handful of reality
Reality
shows,
shows?
I
Oh,
think. Yeah, I don't know which ones right now. Yeah, like, go away. I don't know, such an asshole.
you're
I
not
am
an
an
asshole.
asshole. I recognize that I am an asshole.
Mhm.
I allow myself to be an asshole. I investigate why I'm an asshole because I'm an asshole, and I nurture the fact that I'm an asshole. I'm just
No,
kidding.
you nurture some forgiveness for the fact that you had a moment of assholery. That's all
But see,
fine.
I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm not ready to give up my
Look,
judgment.
you are in comparison to everybody on this cast, there is no asshole in you.
In their bare fucking feet,
Oh,
like, shut up. God. Anyway,
and then we go over to James and Allie, and James gets electrocuted by a hibiscus, it looked like. I don't know what's happening
I
in
don't
that
know what I don't
house.
either.
It's crazy.
I
And
don't
then
either.
yes, then we move into this prep for the pool party. Ariana's upstairs FaceTiming with Katie, and then Schwartz asks Sandoval if this party is sanctioned, confirming that, you know, Sandoval isn't just springing this on Ariana. And Sandoval says, "You think I'm just like, oh, surprise? That's not how this works." Meanwhile, you sprung a whole affair on Ariana and everyone else,
Yeah.
mere except for
Yeah.
Schwartz. So the fact that he's surprised that people are second guessing his motives or if everything's on the up and up is just like another layer of annoyance for me.
I can't imagine living with an ex. I can't imagine living with Tom Sandoval, even if he wasn't my ex.
Ugh.
Justice for Anne, who I guess justiced herself by bailing that job, but it's it's a whole lot of bullshit. It's just gross. He's
Wait,
gross.
you froze again. I'm sorry. Justice for who?
Anyway. Oh no. Justice for Anne, his assistant, but I
Oh
guess she
God,
justiced
yes.
herself because she bailed. Yeah.
Yes, thank God.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah. He's awful.
He is just every scene there was until Jack showed up to out asshole him. Every scene in this, I was like, "You're a terrible person. You're a terrible ex. You're a terrible boss. You're a terrible you're terrible."
Terrible. Terrible.
He
He's
could
terrible.
He is, and he has everyone is giving him every opportunity to be sympathetic. They're guiding him into the light, and he's like,
Right.
"No, no, I'm
I
gonna take
know.
a shit," and then he leaves.
That was disgusting. That was
Everything about him is terrible. Everything about him is terrible.
I mean, his friends are literally outlining for him,
Yeah,
this is what you do in very simple, easy to for Sandoval to understand, di easy to digest bites. And he again, I will probably say this so many times throughout the entire time we do this episode, every episode we do. There are those who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves and others. And I'm like 75% sure that he's constitutionally incapable of being honest with himself or another person.
I don't
And
know
so will
because
he be able to ever recover?
he would He would I think he knows how much he fucked up. I think he's just impatient with everyone else. He's like, "I want things
Oh.
to go back to how they were. I'm having a pool party. Well, what's the problem? My pool parties used to be fun." And it's like, "Yeah, because you used to be someone else. Now you're a liar and you're a cheater, and that's how we know you. And now we need to get to know you. It's not that the other parts of you are dead, but we've added new elements here, buddy. So you can't just have a good old fashioned Tom Sandoval. Like
He's so
can't.
grody.
He is so
I I
grody.
th I think that he has lower lip injections.
I'm sure. He's
Last night I
cute,
was
he looks
watching,
great.
I was like, "You know what? That man he's had some Juvederm in his lower lips."
Good for him.
You know?
He looks great, doesn't make him a great person. Does
Oh,
nothing to
does
make
he
him a
look
good
great?
person.
He just looks so, not manic, but he just always looks, like, angry and on edge. I guess listen, if I made his choices, I'd be angry and on edge too, I
I mean,
guess.
yes, his face is fraught because his life is fraught, and that is on him. He has cute features, but it's all fucked
Dude,
up because he's a turd of a human being right now.
totally, totally. Katie and Lala meet for lunch to discuss their issues and their latest flare-up that they had at the previous night's astrology event hosted by Allie. Lala says that she's trying to become softer, and I wrote, but I also, as this scene went on, I I did I see where she's coming from. I have such a hard time acknowledging Lala's growth because I do think that she's been a tremendous hypocrite. I just admitted in the beginning of this podcast how my hypocrisy manifests. So,
But
as Danny
she
Pellegrino says, who among us, you know? But
And
yeah,
she is making a change. She got humbled in a big, public, gnarly ass way. And unlike Tom
yeah,
Sandoval, she is taking the opportunity to see like what did I choose to ignore that got me in that relationship with Randall? And who did I treat poorly to sustain my fantasy that this person is okay to be with? And it does feel like she's in process of changing. Like I thought this was like a very recovered conversation
totally.
between these two ladies.
I agree. This was definitely the healthiest part of the entire
Yeah.
episode.
And Katie
I would
too.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, I thought that they had a great conversation. I was really impressed. I'm cautiously optimistic. Lala, I felt, was really generous and open about taking responsibility. I'll need to take Lala episode by episode to see, which I think is a healthy way to approach her. For me, she asked Katie for what she needed. Can you be softer with me? And Katie took ownership of her toxic trait, which is a vicious tone and delivery. And her tears, both of their tears felt very genuine to me. And I can really relate to Katie Maloney's toxic traits of vicious tone and vicious delivery. Sometimes I do it with humor, sometimes I don't, but I can be a real see you next Tuesday. If you're Bill at Walgreens,
Watch out,
better look
Betty.
the fuck out.
You and your
And if you
bike
don't know
shorts are
that,
in
if
big
you don't know
trouble.
that one, go back to one of our previous episodes. Because,
um,
yeah,
but I also like this because nobody's expecting the other person to change entirely. In fact, I really loved at the beginning. Lala said that they used to be like really close ride or die friends, and now she said how we used to fit in each other's lives is different. And I love that because it means they are different people and they're learning each other now and how to have a relationship now. And both of them are open to it. And like you said, I thought it was so thoughtful that Lala came in knowing what she wanted to ask of Katie.
Yeah,
Will you be softer with me? And Katie,
right.
without hesitation, said yes. I was like, oh my
Yeah,
God,
I
I
know.
love it. However, this is what I've heard about the reunion is that the big blow up is between Lala and Katie.
I
So I
believe
was
it.
watching this scene with my heart like, oh no, this is short lived, I guess.
Shit.
So
Well,
lovely.
good viewing for us. Sorry for them.
And then we go right to a topless girl at the pool party, holding her tits and bouncing around in
I
Tom Sandoval's pool.
just Tom's like third string benchwarmer friends.
Well, and also the fact that later on he says that it's not insensitive for him to have like a pool party. And I'm like, there's a topless girl bouncing her tits in your like this. And let's remember, this is 3 months after you blew up a 10-year like it's not the time to put bouncing boobs in your pool. Do it somewhere else.
Do you think he did it because she was gone at that point, though, right? Or is it just the
She
principle of
had
the
to
thing?
leave because he was having
Yeah.
a pool party.
Right, right,
It's
right.
just it's just he doesn't give a shit about Ariana, which tells me how over that relationship was for years because he
Yeah.
doesn't think he cries over Rachel. He's upset about losing his friends. He doesn't give a fuck about Ariana,
No, he
the girl in
doesn't.
the Lego poster at the top of their staircase.
I
Like,
know.
it's shocking.
I don't think he even cares about Rachel. I think that the only reason why he's pining for her is because she worshiped him. She bought what he was selling. And no one else is in his whole friend. Like, he's been shunned by fucking society at large. He's been shunned by his business partners, his friends, his castmates, like everyone, you know? Rachel was his safe harbor from the storm. And now she doesn't want to have anything to do with him either. And I think that's what he's mourning. I don't think he really cares. I think that he just wants someone to worship him and adore
Hmm.
him.
Well, he found another one. He found some 24-year-old model to do it now. So
Oh, that's right. She dated
slot
fucking
the next
Leonardo
one in.
DiCaprio, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh
Oh, yeah,
my
that's right.
God. Like, listen, I I mean, I've made choices in my past. You've made choices. Everyone out there has made choices. We've all made bad choices in our dating histories. And from what I've read about Leonardo DiCaprio, oh my God, we are almost 50 minutes into this episode, and we have like talked about 5 minutes of this fucking show. From what I understand, what I've heard on the gossip blogs is that Leonardo DiCaprio, when he has sex, he lies there and he has his headphones on, and
Oh, you
his
know what?
partner is
No.
supposed to do all the work.
Bullshit.
That is repeated ad nauseum. I'm just
They
saying.
wouldn't come back that many times. You know what I mean? They stick around until he dumps them. Nobody's that well, maybe it's worth being on a yacht, but I doubt
But
it.
that
I
yeah,
just
that's what I'm saying. Like, is it that he's Leonardo DiCaprio? Is it that he's not just laying there wearing headphones, letting the other person do all the work? Or is it that, yeah, like, is it
I
just
mean,
enough that you're Leonardo DiCaprio? I don't know.
but this is where you're talking about bad decisions. It's enough that he's Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't care if it's
Yeah.
bag on like, I don't care. That's an
But like,
experience. That's a
to
ride
go
you wanna
from
ride.
go from Leonardo DiCaprio,
Oh, no,
who's
that's troubling to
he's
Tom Sandoval.
such a
That's a
great
bummer.
fucking he's so talented. Like, he's talented,
And he, like, owns an island, like, you go to a date on an
you
island that he
know?
owns, as opposed to
Yeah, but
Sandoval that's like, "Wanna do karaoke
Sandoval.
at Dimples?" Okay.
Oh my God. Oh, that was so funny. Karaoke at Dimples. I know, seriously. Seriously. Oh my God, he's gross. He's so gross, man.
He does himself no favors, it's just
No
so
faves.
sad.
Not one.
He you can really come back from big falls by just owning up to your shit. Like, I was thinking about Felicity Huffman and the whole college entry scandal,
Yeah,
and she
yeah.
immediately was like, "That was so out of line. I'm gonna spend the rest of my life trying to get my kids to trust me again. I fucked up, put me in jail." And they were like, "Okay, you're going to jail for 40 hours." And that was it. No more lawyer fees, no more and we've all forgotten about it. Like, it's the people who fought it whatever her
Yeah.
Missy, Lori, whoever from Full House. We're like,
Lori
come on now.
Loughlin.
Yes, thank you.
She was on a recent episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Mm.
And they referenced that. God, what was it called again? What did we call it?
College scandal,
College,
something gate,
right?
Hayat gate, or whatever.
Oh my God.
Um.
Anyway, yeah,
Anyway,
but
sorry. So we're back at this
so
terrible pool party, and Schwartz is going to
yeah,
leave because Sandoval has invited girls that he wants to hook up with. And meanwhile, this is before he's crying over Rachel. So, like, I don't know. This guy's just out of control. But I also can't stand Schwartz being like, I don't feel comfortable. It's like, oh, now you don't feel comfortable, where for months you harbored this secret and hurt everyone around. Okay.
he's the
Okay. Leave
worst
now.
kind of guy. He's the worst kind of guy
Bums me out.
because he just like talks out of both sides of his mouth, and he just doesn't have. He just doesn't got no dignity, man. He's just dignityless, like via con Dios. So when Schwartz says that Sandoval should choose a different venue to meet women, he's talking about Tom Tom, right? Because isn't the women that are coming over to the pool party, the 24 the 24 20 somethings that are coming over, they're he
He
met them
met
at
them
Tom
at
Tom.
He met them at
Or
See You Next Tuesday, wherever that is. Is that
oh,
Sir or Tom
okay.
Tom? I don't know where it is, but yes,
Okay.
he met them at some Lisa Vanderpump
Oh my
establishment.
God. And so Schwartz is like, dude, don't shit where you eat. Like that's where your longtime partner and you worked together, met. Like, dude, this is no longer your barrel to shoot in. And he's still just like, he's still gonna be like, yeah, like he's gonna be that guy that is 60 or 70, but still is like holding on to their glory days and they just look like a fucking fool. And it's happening in real time.
I
So,
know. Yeah. Sandoval, this moment in the pool, I just wrote Sandoval in the pool is why everybody thinks people in LA suck. He's literally the stereotype that everyone's like, I hate everyone. Because he goes,
yes.
his toast, he goes, to staying positive and testing negative, my favorite, cheers. I was like, you're a loser. And then
He's
he's like, I've
so
never been married. I'll
dumb.
probably be married next year knowing me. Just kidding. I'm like, that's not funny. You didn't make me laugh. Right into, have you been to Burning Man? They barely get the word no out before he says, this would have been a great year for me to go because I'm single, just out of a 10-year relationship. I do have a roommate. Like
Margie,
he literally is we've all had this conversation with this guy and it's
yep.
excruciating. It's as excruciating as it
Yes.
was seen
Yes.
on TV this week. It was
Yes.
terrible.
It was terrible. And
Read the pool, Tom. Nobody's into it. The girls were miserable.
they were like, holy shit. He was just red fucking flag after red fucking flag. If I were them, I would head for the hills.
They looked like they wanted out.
They really did. And I ache for my younger self that would just listen to guys like Sandoval drone on about shit. And in my mind, I would be doing mental Olympic level gymnastics to rationalize whatever they were saying to oh yeah, I could maybe, sure, like, oh God, I'm so sorry, younger self. I'm so sorry.
But that's normal. That's what
Ugh.
if anyone is 20-ish and listening, that's what it is. Don't beat yourself up. It's like, that's what, you know, I remember I was dating someone who talked a lot and I did an experiment and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to talk at all and just see what happens. The man monologued for hours. I was like to the point where like I was getting bed sores. I was like, I gotta end this experiment because it's like you literally can just talk for hours. Anyways.
You're
And then he
all,
made
you know
oh,
what?
sorry.
Your mouth must be dry by now. I'm going to let you go.
Oh god,
I'm going to leave.
it was
Yeah.
insane. And then Sandoval makes this terrible joke with it. He said he keeps her locked in the room and crushes potato chips to pushes them under the door for her to eat. I'm like, "You're not funny." Like, but I do love the editors because they ended the whole scene with like a bit of silence, and then you just hear Sandoval go, "Woo." It was just like such an old middle-aged man saying "woo" at a pool party.
I miss that. Oh my
Oh, it
God.
was so
Oh
great.
God. Oh God. Oh
It
God.
was great.
Ay, ay, ay. And then I can't believe that Anne had to clean. I'm
That
so glad she quit. It's
honestly, again, Tom Sandoval knows he's in the shit. Like there is no world. And he's not drunk. He didn't pass out because he got so wasted at his party. He's stone cold sober. He didn't pick up a thing. He's like, part of her job is to do light housework and clean up whatever I couldn't. I'm like, you didn't try to pick up anything. Every towel is on the ground. Every piece of food is collecting flies. There's an extension where a kitchen mat should be. Like, it's so, and again, he's 40. This isn't like, that is a fraternity party mess. At 40, you
Yeah.
put a couple
Yeah.
things away before you go to bed.
Yeah, you do.
Especially, we both do. If ever there's a cleaning service coming, we spend the full week prior trying to clean everything so that
So
they can
fucking
be in and out
asinine,
in
but
5
yes.
minutes. Like, but
Yeah.
it's also a
Yeah.
decent human thing to do of like,
I've had parties. My friend Jill and I, when we lived in Silver Lake together, we had some epic parties. They were epic outside, they were epic inside. They were just fucking great. Cleaning up after a party is not light fucking housekeeping. Light housekeeping is if there's a couple cereal bowls in the sink and you load the dishwasher, you unload the dishwasher, maybe throw a load of towels in the washing machine. That was disgusting ass stuff. That's the kind of stuff that you're like, you got to pour out everyone's like last inch of beer out of their solo cups. One of them can't go down the sink because there's inevitably a cigarette butt in it or something like that. There's sticky substances dried on the floor, on the counter. That's not light. We would go to bed and then wake up in the morning and be like, fuck, we got to clean up, But it was, I don't
part of
know.
the event.
It's
Like,
part of
that's
the
part.
event.
If I throw a party, I know that part of it is once everyone is gone,
Yeah.
I will
There's an
end the
epic mess
night.
to be cleaned
Yes.
up.
And
Right.
that's the sign of a good party. But like Ariana said, and I love Anne, but she has a really shitty boss. And like, it's
She's a
just
really
could not
shitty
be more
boss.
true.
Such a shitty boss,
Filth.
dude. Oh, God.
We move into Scheana and Ariana discussing Dancing with the Stars, which was ridiculous. Scheana, again, she's another one who I'm just like, what are you doing, dude? Again, this is 3 months after Ariana's entire life blew up. Her 10 years of her past, everything that she expected her future to be is erased. And you want her to think of you first when, like, honestly, she's probably, I mean, when I go through breakups, for the first 3 to 6 months at least with a long-term relationship, it's just about peeling yourself up off the floor and
Dude.
functioning at all.
Seriously.
I'm sorry
Seriously.
that she didn't consider you, Scheana, but like she's living with a terrorist and like and her heart's broken. As together as she seems, as many brand deals as she's got, I don't think if you had asked her before she knew Tom was having an affair, would you give up all of this if you could have a Duracell commercial and Dancing with the Stars? She would say no because she thought she loved him. She'd envisioned a future. Like, I don't know. Sheena's just way, she is so self centered and just so narrow focused. It's really
Yeah.
hard to feel anything but annoyed by her.
I think the worst villain in this scene is Lisa Vanderpump, and she wasn't even there. Lisa really inserts herself where she shouldn't be, and she really supports people that she shouldn't be supporting that don't deserve support. Oh God, that sounded so mean. Like, I don't get to be fucking God and decide who's worthy, but I'm saying the fact that she just is like real committed to her, and this is not just for this episode. This is just this her whole the whole time we've known of her. She loves to stick up for problematic men. She'll throw a woman under the bus if, she can be the hero in a man's eyes. She's doing the same thing with Sandoval. She interfered where she didn't need to. She tells all these people that they should act like adults, but then she doesn't let them just go. I'm not a fan of LVP. I know that she's a fan favorite and whatever. I'd like to see her come back on Beverly Hills just to see the mess, but I don't find her a beacon of morality. I don't find her a beacon of what good communication or a supportive person even is. She's unrivaled at opening up drinking and eating establishments that meld shabby chic and steampunk together, both things of which I find offensive to my eyeballs. So stick to what you know.
Well, in
You
fairness,
know.
she's an amazing producer is what she is, because
Oh
she
my gosh, you're
did
right. You're right.
set
You're right.
Scheana up to start this whole thing, and it
You're
it
right.
gave us, this incredibly insensitive hypothetical that Scheana asked of like, what
You're
if
right.
in a bunch of years, Tom Sandoval has done all this work on himself, and and again, 3 months after he just fucked Raquel in a room next door, like, what are you
Right.
doing? And
right.
also, there's no evidence that he's doing any work on himself. Like, sure, I guess if all these months down the line, he's like a monk and has figured out the meaning of life and is remorseful and has made amends, I guess. But why would you ask this right now? You just want her to feel like shit. You feel like shit because you didn't get Dancing with the Stars. So you want Ariana to feel like shit. But what Scheana is missing is that the only way Scheana would have gotten Dancing with the Stars is if Brock had fucked her best friend for, you know what I mean? It's like the path to Ariana getting that was not cute. And
No, it
Sheena's like,
wasn't.
I wanted it, but you got it. It's like, yeah, she got it because her life blew up. Like, God,
Yeah, and I don't know that there was ever gonna be a guarantee that Sheena was gonna be offered Dancing with the Stars,
no.
even if Brock didn't cheat, even if whatever. Like, the fact that Mauricio got Dancing with the Stars, I'm still like, "What? Really? Okay." But maybe that was just someone pulling strings behind the scenes
Yes,
that
I'm
we don't
sure
know
he
about.
he bought that position.
Netflix is all and ABC is all, "Come in."
I
Hulu, I don't
mean,
know where the hell Dancing with the Stars is anymore because I don't watch it.
the agency, he could have just done it
Yeah.
himself.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They've got some pull now. You're right, you're
And he's
right.
loaded.
But yeah, that was
Yeah, that I
fuck, you're
just
right.
think,
He's so
yeah,
loaded. He's so loaded.
Ariana's very patient with Sheena, saying that she understands her disappointment and, whatever. And then warns her off of becoming friends with Tom Sandoval, saying, "You're in danger." He's not the guy that everyone knew until March 1st of last year.
Yeah, I mean, I get grieving a relationship. I get grieving for what things were. I get that. But this is now. And also to ask somebody for a hypothetical, like, well, what do you think in 5 years? Like, that is it's impossible and it doesn't feel realistic. And I posit it might be a little manipulative and a whole lot insensitive,
Absolutely.
you
Because
know?
if someone had asked us 5 years ago, "What do you think would happen?" I don't think I would have said a pandemic, a writer's
Right.
strike, and
Exactly.
Scandoval.
Exactly. Totally. I wrote down, Sheena, if you think Sandoval is going to change, you need to go to a fucking Al Anon meeting or at least a CODA meeting. CODA is Codependence Anonymous. Get some therapy. Do something. Sheena, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I don't know how many times Sandoval has fooled these people, but
I
like,
agree. I have the tiniest bit like, I think Sheena's still in the place where sh and as is Tom Sandoval, of wishing it could go back to what it was and not being an acceptance that it will never go back. Ariana will
yeah,
never be the
yes,
same.
yes,
Tom is
yes,
never the
yeah,
same. Sheena's
yep,
not the same. So it's still only 3 months in, and I think she's trying to like, "Come on, let's get back to what we were. You'll never go back." Ariana is a Broadway star now. You're not going back to your VPR days, your Sir days, whatever.
right, right, right.
Anyways, now we go to Gentrify
Ay, ay,
Echo
ay.
Park with Tom Schwartz and Joe. I didn't really have anything here.
The only thing I have here is that I think the appeal of Joe to Schwartz is that she's easy. She's that, oh, how do I say it? Like, she's not a cool girl, but I don't see her asking for a lot. I don't see her having a lot of needs that she needs a partner to fulfill or that she asks for stuff. She seems like a real chill, easygoing. Look, we're going to go on this boat barefoot. I don't like either one of them.
I mean, maybe it's again, I was Joe, probably still am Joe.
No,
No,
I'm
I was
sorry.
Ramona. I was. Ask my
Margie.
therapist. I was a good hang. It made me feel good when people thought I was easy to be around. Like, I didn't want to have any needs. It was so satisfying for people to want to be around you because, like, you didn't demand anything. I didn't realize that there's a sickness in that until later in life. But I am Joe. Like, I get it. Telling a Ninja Turtle story and like, I would never be barefoot probably, but other
But
than
your
that,
personalities are different. Like, you
I
might have
hope
done the
so.
same things. That's what I'm saying. I'm not
Yes, I see.
I feel like watching them together, watching a lot of the people on this cast makes me really uncomfortable. Like, I
Mhm.
don't enjoy it as much as I enjoy watching another Bravo franchise. I don't wanna join the Joe pylon. I don't think Katie is very kind when she talks shit about Joe. like to call someone a crackhead on social media, like that's so fucking rude,
It is,
dude.
but I turned on Jo in her confessional here where she was like, "Katie's giving me a lot of hate. She's being a jealous ex." I'm like, "Yeah." And also, are you surprised? Is Joe surprised that Katie released a mean tweet? Like, don't take it personal. Like, that is his ex of
Yeah.
13 years. She's not gonna like you.
Yeah.
You really
Yeah.
expect to be
Yeah.
liked? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Her
I don't
expectations are
know.
insane. On to the Belmont,
Oh my God.
where Tom
Yes.
Sandoval announces not once, but twice that he has to take a shit. So, as
It's
if he
so
couldn't get any more
gross.
repugnant, this
He's
was the
just
point of this scene.
it's just like he makes me so uncomfortable because he is so far detached from reality. He's
He's so
so
revolting.
far detached from reality, and it's like I have a visceral reaction to him
Mhm.
and his behavior.
It's incomprehensible.
And then I say, "Oh my God, to be at the same place as your ex during an outing, like, oh, that's always so uncomfortable
But
when
I
you're in a bad place, you
Yes, but
know?"
I appreciated what Lala said of like, Ariana's here to reclaim her friends. And Ariana said, I'm not going to let my ex dictate if or when I get to
Right.
see my friends.
Right. Exactly.
And there's something satisfying about the scene that it spoke to, our exaggerated sense of justice, where Ariana looked at ease and Tom Sandoval looked miserable. And I was like, good, because you did something wrong and she did something right. And that's how it should be. You should be uncomfortable and she should be breezy. I'm sure that's
Yeah.
incomplete, but still,
I mean, let me see if I can fill in for you. Because
please.
if when that was me in that situation, I was acting my ass off to
Of
look easy,
course.
breezy, fun. And I just like and granted, she did have a whole host of like fan friends there that were like, "Oh my God, Ariana, it's so good to see you." And no one was coming up to Tom.
Well,
It's
those are
because
all
your
Tom's
clothes are so
friends.
fucking ugly. Your outfits are nasty, Tom. You don't know how to fucking dress. Your sartorial choices. He went to the Dorit school of getting dressed and choosing your outfits. He's not authentic, and I don't want to catch what he has, clothing wise. I don't want
No,
to be around that man. He and Dorit, same thing.
just
Ugh.
posers.
Gross. Such posers. I was going to say that Katie and Lala share that they have a safe word,
Oh,
croissant.
right.
And Josh and I also have a safe word for when we're going to get into a fight. It's hot dog because it's such an absurd word that if you're on the precipice of a potentially catastrophic fight, petty, mean, not mature, coming from the young, scared parts of yourself that you can't trust are going to communicate in an effective or kind way. If you say hot dog, it's going to diffuse shit. So I think I'm all for a safe word to avoid a fight.
It's so funny.
Hashtag therapy. So that's something, but yes, 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 yes.
I was in a terrible fight with a boyfriend once and I was fostering kittens at the time. And we were like, it was so intense. And then one of the kittens crawled on his jeans and he goes, not now, kitty. And then we both started laughing and it was over because it was like, you can't continue a fight once someone said, not now, kitty. It's so
Did the
stupid.
cat get scared?
No, it was
Okay,
fine.
good.
It was
I'm really
fine.
glad. Yeah. Oh my God. But you're
Not now,
right.
kitty.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. So Scheana now does everything in her power to give Tom Sandoval a chance to be a redemptive character, and he refuses it. She talks about Brock had reported to her that Tom had talked about feeling abandoned by Rachel, and Scheana gives Sandoval the script of saying, you could maybe acknowledge that you didn't mean to manipulate this person, but you did. And with Katie, maybe you can just tell her you think you understand why she feels like you played a part in their divorce. And he just won't. He pitches a fit and storms out like a baby brat. He's awful.
He's awful.
And he whines. Sheena says, you've hurt a lot of people. And if you can just take your ego out of it. And he goes, it's not an ego. It's like, oh my God. You're 40, you're in the wrong, and you're whining. This is a bad look, sir. I'm tired of being the fucking scapegoat.
Dude.
Scapegoat?
He has no self-awareness. He's entirely too cavalier. This, like, we're not re what is it? Reinventing the wheel? Like, we've already said everything we can say about this toxic ass
It's just so
man.
sad that Scheana tries to help him, and then Scheana storms off because she's like, "This is bullshit," and James picks up where she left off, saying, like, "You're gonna burn every bridge, like, you're letting your life crumble around you, it's your fault," and he's like, "It's always my fault. I'm tired of groveling with these motherfuckers.
So petulant,
Everybody's made
dude.
mistakes." It's like, "Yeah, but your mistake is the most recent, and it was really egregious."
It
So
was egregious.
you need to stand still and sit with them through their discomfort while they decide whether or
Yeah.
not they forgive you and will ever trust you again. That's your job now. That's your whole job.
You
You don't
made
get to have
national
fun.
fucking news.
Yeah.
Right. You don't get to have I know. Like,
Sorry, and that
dude,
sucks. I get it. I feel for you, but,
right.
like, if you want your friends back, you have to wait.
You do. You do.
Trust
And you
is
have
earned,
to
and now you're starting from 0, sir.
yes, he's never, like, done a legit mea culpa that is palpable or
No.
authentic. It's always just been to, like, throw some shitty patch on, like, a bald tire or just to save face. It's not real. Anything before we go to Brock and Scheana?
No. On to Nannygate.
I really don't like watching them. I don't
Hmm.
like watching them communicate. I don't like how it makes me feel watching two people that can't communicate with each other just say the same things over and over again, and it's not helping because the other person isn't gonna understand it that way. I don't understand why Brock can't just make his he says that he can't have a schedule unless Scheana has a schedule. I don't know why. You are a grown man. Do what you gotta do, and if your wife can't do it with you, that's normal?
No, but that's a big like, because the kid's involved. You know what I mean? Like, I think Sheena's schedule is irregular, and he's Mr. Mom, like, he's around to look after
Oh,
her.
see, I thought that he
So,
wanted his schedule to be real so he could go pursue his career.
I
I
think
thought that the
that's
childcare thing I thought is, like, sorted. That's what I took it as, like, they now
oh.
have a nanny,
Oh,
and that's how I interpreted it. I could be completely wrong.
I don't know what was going on here. I was distracted by the
Yeah.
drawings on the tablet, so I probably missed
Oh,
the point of the scene.
yeah, maybe I did too.
I don't know, I thought it's sort of a sweet, relatable disagreement that, like, and they're not communicating perfectly, but I hope they make progress like they did in the past, you know? They've had these moments before where they have, like, the heated piece of the discussion, and then they both come back around and they're like, "Sorry,
Right.
sorry, let's
I
do
saw
this."
that. I did.
And I like that it ended with, like, "I don't like you," and he's like, "But I love you," and she's like, "Well, I love you, but I don't like you right now," and then they made funny faces on I like, that was cute. Or is that
It
my
was.
like, do I need to take this into therapy and
I
have
don't
her tell
know.
me, like, "This isn't
That's a good
cute?"
question. I'm not sure.
I'll ask.
I just kept, like, focusing on, like, why does he need a schedule identical to hers in order to start his career? Like, I don't understand that.
Yes, I thought it had to do with the baby, but
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
for sure. I
I
don't
don't
either.
either.
Unclear what is
And
going on in that family.
I'm not a fan of Scheana, but for all of her faults, she does seem like a really good mom. She
Mhm.
does seem like a really good mom. She seems to be just completely head over heels for her kid.
And, maybe
And
I'm wrong, but Brock seems like
I
a good
that I think
dad.
is nice to see. So,
Do you think that Brock seems like a good dad? 'Cause the only
I
thing I'm
think that
judging it from is
he's
that sorry, go ahead.
no, you, please, please.
Just that Summer
No,
Moon
you
is
go.
really comfortable around him. Like, she seems really
Yes.
relaxed and, like, at ease
Yeah.
and can have feelings and
Yeah.
whatever, and that I feel like is a, yeah, stable parent.
He does seem like a good dad. He seems like an attentive, present father to Summer Moon, and that
Yeah.
he revels in her presence and he enjoys her company.
Mhm.
And that's a nice thing, you know? That is a nice thing.
Yeah.
I have a note that says Katie's shirt exclamation point. I don't even know what shirt she was wearing, but I must have liked it.
I don't remember. This was when she came over to help Ariana set up for the party?
Oh, she had a football jersey on.
Oh,
She
what
had
was
that
it?
green football jersey with the white stripes on the shoulder.
The Jets?
I don't think it was a Jets shirt. I think it was just
Oh,
God, if it
like,
was, I
just a
have no idea.
generic.
Yeah, it was just a generic
Gotcha,
football
gotcha.
jersey T-shirt that said 72, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm such a sucker for a drop sleeve, a drop shoulder, striped, athletic looking." Anyway, maybe I'll wear mine next week. Who knows?
Well, and then we head into another, yes, botched Tom Sandoval apology. He says he's
Right.
reflected and he wants to prioritize things that matter to Scheana because that friendship's important to him. So he comes down to do a performative apology to Katie. And the second she pushes back, he freaks out. Katie says she couldn't fathom how he could carry on an affair like that. He does say, like, I understand where it might have seemed like I contributed to the demise of your marriage. And then Katie talks about the affair. And he gets immediately aggressive and says, "Oh, you can't fathom it? Really?" And Katie, this blew my mind. Katie very measuredly explained to him that she can't fathom it because she did the other thing, the harder thing. She walked away from a marriage with a man that she still loved, and she didn't fuck around because things weren't going her way. She left first before she caused destruction for the other person involved. And Tom Sandoval is so self-centered that he can't see that people are it's not about him and his feelings. It's about Ariana. And then he's all defensive. Well, we're not the same people. And, she was right to say, stop explaining yourself and just start moving differently.
That was
That's
like
it.
literally that is the healthiest
That's
thing.
your
Yes,
instruction, sir.
exactly.
And then give it time. That's it.
He should act and not say. Actions
Mhm.
speak louder than words. They always do. And you can say all you want to me, and I will see right through it if it's not authentic. But if you act a way, that I understand.
And he says,
So
"Just give me a little bit of grace." And Katie goes, "No."
I loved her in this scene. I really did. I really
She's
did.
great. She is America
Yeah,
in that moment.
totally, dude. Seriously. And then he shows his journaling to Schwartz and kvetching about how he lost his friends and Rachel. And like, Schwartz is so uncomfortable hearing about. I mean, listen, I'm fucking uncomfortable hearing about Sandoval bitch about anything either. I don't want to hear about him being a victim. That's all I have to say. But he can't like Schwartz, it looks so uncomfortable that all he can come up with is like, "Oh man, you're a little sullen today, huh?" And I'm like, "Oh God, this is the blind leading the blind." And I don't like either one of these men in their arrested development. I just
It's also
can't.
two people performing roles. Tom Sandoval is
You're
performing the
right.
role of like
You're
the
right.
thoughtful man who's grieving what he thought could be. And Tom Schwartz is playing the part of a man who has like any ethics of his own and is surprised and shocked by this behavior. It's like, it was just a weird moment and him crying in the closet
Oh
and
my God.
saying that the world is treating me like I'm Scott Peterson. It's like,
Oh
first of
my
all, weird
God,
old
dude.
reference. That is the reference
So,
to a man who murdered his pregnant wife, cut up her body, put it in the lake in whatever, just up north. And like that is a brutal, again, this man, and this is coming off we've just read the New York Times article where he compares himself to,
oh my
you know what
fucking
I mean?
God.
He's just choosing all the wrong people. You're none of these people. You're not that important in any way. And people aren't looking at you like Scott Peterson. They're looking at you like Tom Sandoval. They're looking
They
at you
are.
like the guy who fucked your significant other's best friend in your own
I
home
know.
while she was at her grandma's funeral. That's how they're looking at
Oh my
you.
God. Oh my God. I
That's
mean,
all.
yeah, Schwartz looks like he wants to leave his body. They both need such intense help. Like, they should take a cue from Rachel and go inpatient somewhere for a while and just sort it all out.
Yeah.
Schwartz had a really traumatic, toxic upbringing. And
Yes.
I just, abandon hope, all ye who enter here, however that fucking phrase goes, because you gotta clean that shit up. Stuff's not gonna change. It's not gonna change. With a little bit of elbow grease and some time and
Well,
some
and
willingness
all of this
and some
weirdness of
discomfort.
Schwartz trying to distance himself from Sandoval. Like in this confessional, he sets up Jax's entrance saying, I called someone to help Tom who also dabbled in cheating. And I'm like, you dabbled in cheating.
Oh God,
You
that's
did.
right. That's
Everybody did.
right.
I have nothing with Ariana's game night. I was bored to tears. I think we already knew the news that
I
Scheana slept with John Mayer, or at least I did. So I was like, all right,
I didn't
next.
remember, but what did I say? I said, Allie, why are you laughing that James cheated twice? Like, why is that? Why is that? Like, oh, James did. Like, I don't get it.
I
Your
think
shine's
it's
going to come off one day, and I don't know that you're going to be spared the same fate. I don't know. Am
I
I a
think it's
dick?
just no, I think it's just in a social setting. It's a known character trait, and
Got
if he
it.
didn't immediately lift his glass to put everyone at ease, someone had to be like, "James."
Got
Like,
it.
"Sir."
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I
Yeah.
like Allie.
I do too. I just don't know
I
why
mean,
she's with
I
James.
don't know, she's a baby, so
She is a baby. She is a baby.
we'll see.
I felt bad for Joe because Allie talked shit about her to her other castmates that also don't like Joe, but then she went and put on this really good friendship vibe with Joe that I felt like Joe was really earnest in showing up with her. And Allie seemed earnest, but we saw it behind the scenes. I just thought it was kind of shitty.
But she didn't really say anything bad. She just said Joe asked for a reading, and they said, "And what did you say?" And she said, "I said, 'Sure.'" And they were like, "Oh, girl, you in danger."
But it seemed like she was saying it with a tone of like it wasn't like, "Oh my god, guess what? Joe asked me for a reading. I'm going to give it
Right.
to her." It was more like, "Oh god, you guys, guess what? Joe asked me for a reading." I would feel so bad if someone talked about me to my friends and then looked at me in the eye, like in that tone.
But she had
And
met
then
Joe, and it was weird. That was when
that's
Joe
true.
was like, "Ugh, yeah, ugh, yeah, like, you're so
Yeah, you're
young,
right.
so
You're right. You're
and
right.
she did show up, like, I give Allie credit, no one else is gonna shoot with Joe, and Allie was
Yeah,
like,
you're
"Alright,
right.
I'll
You're
go
right.
do what I do professionally with her and
You're right.
leave it there."
Ugh. When Allie said that your spouse should be your best friend, Josh and I, both independent of each other, were like, ugh. Like
Uh-huh.
we both did that. Like it's just not.
Well, and
Mm-mm.
that was her recovery from her saying like, "Oh, you guys definitely have like a platonic friendship vibe."
Yeah.
And then Joe
Right.
looked
Right. Right.
disappointed and she was like, "But some people marry their best friend." Like it felt
Yeah.
like backpedaling.
Yikes. Yikes. Yikes.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I thought it was
Yeah.
nice of Allie to say to Joe that like sh Allie was upfront saying, "I'm friends with Ariana and Katie, but I hope you can find a way to feel welcomed in this group, and this was my
Yeah.
effort, and now I'm done."
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was cool too.
Yeah.
Gross. Jax walked in to this is like guys' night at Tom Tom Steampunk Shabby Chic Bar. I think it's real fucking mean to tell your friend that they look old as a put down. Like, there's nothing wrong with being old, looking old. Nothing wrong with it. To use it as a put down, that's pretty fucked up.
He just came in there to yeah, and I
Stir the
think,
pot.
weirdly, Tom Sandoval is right here of, like, Jax noting that Jax is competitive and revels in other people's misery, and so
He
he just
does.
came in and did exactly that. He put him down. I would never take bar advice from you guys, even though they do have 2 bars. I'm not saying they're successful, but they've done the things that you do to open them and keep the doors open. So that was just shitty unnecessarily, and then saying he looks like he's 50 and that he's so fucked up, and then as if to prove he's miserable, Jack starts screaming about how great his life is and he has everything he's ever wanted and he's worked so hard to be a better man. He's happier than ever. Meanwhile, his wife left him. He's apparently been
Right.
cheating as he always has. So like fucking jokes on you, idiot. God, he's so
Gross,
hateable.
man. Ew.
Yeah.
The last note I have is when Jack says you need to be humble, you know you're fucking out of touch. But again, that's just the pot calling the kettle black.
The
It's
only time I was on Tom Sandoval's side was when he said, "I don't have to be humble for you." And I was like,
okay.
"You're right.
Okay.
For
Okay.
that's the one thing you're right about in this whole episode and potentially your entire life." But like nobody needs to humble themselves for Jax Taylor. He's such a shit.
Gross.
And then for
Ew.
Jax Taylor to call him a disgrace was just like, disgrace to what? Like, why are you talking? You fucked someone cheating on your girlfriend next to an old lady sleeping in a
Oh,
bed. You're a
God.
disgrace. You're
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh God, he
Oh,
bums me
God.
out
He bums me out. He bums me out. God,
so
the
bad.
3 of them. You know what? Everyone at that fucking table bums me out.
Mhm.
Everyone at that table bums me out. Brock,
I don't hate
Tom,
Brock.
the
I
other
like
Tom,
James is
James,
funny.
Jax. Like, oh, God.
I don't hate them all,
No.
but
They
Jax,
shouldn't. No. No. No.
they shouldn't what? Sorry.
They shouldn't be allowed in society.
How dare you? We'd have nothing to watch on TV.
No, but I mean, like, they shouldn't be allowed to. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'll give Brock the benefit of the doubt. I know people can change, but, you know,
Look, he's a
these
present father, and as
he's a
far as I'm
present father.
concerned, he wins.
Okay. He's a present father with this
Because
kid,
I understand that he left
you
others
know?
behind and that he's
Yeah.
Jax is also a father and he's
Mm.
like, that kid's has no you know what I mean? So at least I don't know.
Oh my God.
It's a weird collection of people who
It
don't feel like
is.
they're
It's an
friends anymore.
unfortunate collection of people.
Yes.
Extremely. Well, yeah. They really put us through the ringer, don't they?
I know.
They give a lot. They give a lot. Like, right now I'm like, if I was to rain, I'd be recognize. My head feels buzzy, my chest feels a little tight. I feel a little threatened just by talking about people with such toxic traits, you know? Just like,
Yeah.
interesting. I'm just talking about it though. I'm just talking about it. They're not in my life.
No,
I
thank
think it's that
God.
I'm sad that, like, for every person on Vanderpump Rules, there's a person in the real world that still needs a lot of therapy and recovery. And if you don't, your behaviors become generational. And that is just so, when I think about all the untreated people in the world, I get sad because breaking generational trauma is hard and so necessary.
I really
It's
want you to
like,
watch Love is Blind season 6 really
oh
bad.
my God, I started watching Love is Blind.
Oh, good.
And so, yeah, so I'll start with what I watched this week. We started watching Love is Blind. It's the best fucking season of all the seasons. I think we're about to start the episode where they've gone back to their respective homes and they're going to be having the reunion with the other people, with the people they didn't choose. Oh my God, the show is so good. Like, it is so entertaining. It makes me uncomfortable. It's all of it. But I know it's just going to keep giving, keep giving, keep giving. So it's so good. Oh my God, it's a great season. You're done, right?
I'm done, yes. So I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say anything until you've
Okay.
completed it, but it's well worth watching top to bottom. It's so good.
There are some shows when Josh goes to bed and I stay awake, he'll be like, I don't care. Go ahead, watch the next one. And I always offer him a perfunctory, oh, it's okay. I'll save it, babe. I'll save it for you. And there's times when he'll be like, oh, no, go ahead, go ahead. And then there's times when he's like, okay. And I'm all, oh, shit. So last night he's like, okay. Or he said, I said, I'll save it for you. And he's like, okay. And I was like, oh,
Mhm,
I cannot watch Love is Blind. I would be in trouble. I would be
mhm.
rude if I did that. So, and then I watched The Women Tell All, and it was a whole lot of nothing burger. And people really love Maria. I'm not a fan. Something about her rubs me the wrong way. Something about her it seems like I don't know. I just don't find her 100% non produced. I really don't. I am disgusted and yet not surprised that Rachel received a lot of racist bullshit from the white evangelical racist aspect of the Bachelor Nation fans. All the
I
women
didn't
of color did.
was that I
Yeah.
haven't watched yet.
Oh, shit. Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean,
So,
I may or may not, but, like, was that on as part of the show? They discussed
yeah.
that? Good, at
Yes.
least they're
Yes.
fucking
They are, but they're never doing it as much as they should. And they're
I
never
know.
using like as effective of language as they should.
What the
Like, you've got
fuck?
to,
What did people have to say? The pig or something? What was the problem?
oh no, that she's brown. That's
No,
it.
God.
Yes, yes, yes. She's brown. Anyone who is not white is going to get racist hate from people in
That's
Bachelor Nation.
so disappointing.
Some of them. It's so disappointing. It's disgusting. It's fucking pugnant.
I'm so sad for her. I love her so much.
I
She
do
was my
too.
first choice.
I
I
know.
hate that
I
she's in
know.
pain from that experience. That
Me
fucking
too. She
sucks.
was in pain. She was in palpable pain. She was crying.
Oh, God.
And then Jesse asked the other women of color, like, has this happened to you? And they were like, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, God. Why take the
Yes.
time to do that? Whatever. I'll never understand, but, like, that
Mm-hmm.
is they're so young.
I
Like,
know.
leave them alone.
I know.
God.
I,
Ugh.
I think that's probably it for reality TV. Basketball, watch a lot of basketball. That's it. I just, like, wanna rip through Love Is Blind. I just wanna, like, snort it up. What did you watch this week, friend?
I watched The Valley, so I watched Vanderpump Rules
Oh,
roll into the Valley, which was
ugh,
I don't know what to make of it. It held my attention, and I don't want their lives. It's not aspirational in any way, shape, or form. I was like, "This all looks overwhelming and miserable, and everybody seems like they don't want what they have." Like, it's a really weird I don't know, everybody seems kinda miserable. Do you
miserable,
right? Okay. So I was like, "Is this am I just
miserable.
bringing my, like, Vanderpump Rules taint into this, or does
No,
this feel like a miserable collection of people who
I
maybe hate each other,
yeah.
regret having children, and don't wanna live in the valley?"
I didn't even watch I think it started auto-playing after Vanderpump, and that's
Mhm,
why it was on because I was deep into my, New York Times word games at that point, but
mhm.
I don't know. I don't know. TBD. Maybe we'll see.
I mean, I will say it does drop a level of intrigue to know that Brittany moved out after they
Yeah.
stopped filming, so I'm
I
curious to
really
see.
yeah. I mean, the timing is also the timing is a little
It is.
par for the course,
I think it was probably both. I think she probably
Yeah.
wanted to leave and then made the decision at, like, an opportune time.
Jesus. It's just like we all saw it coming, man. We all saw it coming.
I
But
know.
you gotta do what you gotta do, you
Well,
know? You can't lead a horse to water, or you can't lead a Britney away from a Jax, but I don't know. They're both
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I don't either.
But I will
I don't
continue
know.
to watch The Valley because it
All
was
right.
something about it was compelling. And then I also watched Summer House, and I know you don't watch that show, so I won't talk too much about it, but there is a really interesting relationship playing out. Carl and Lindsay. Carl is now a
Right.
sober alcoholic. He's California sober. He does still smoke pot, but he hasn't
Interesting. I did not know that. Okay.
well, nobody did until Lindsay outed him on camera this week, which was, like, really unnecessary and shitty, but
Oh.
she's been accusing him 2 weeks in a row now for being on cocaine, and he lost his shit. He was like, "You don't know how fucking hard I work not to do this." His brother died from this disease on the street, so it's not like a cute, like, funny joke, it's not dramatic, it's really serious, and it's sort of we're getting a look at Carl is it's demonstrating why they tell you in your first year of recovery not to have a relationship or make any big
Right.
decisions, because he was not done with his first year of sobriety before he proposed to this woman, and he's gotten more
Ooh.
recovery, and she does not appear to be an Al-Anon. She's drinking and hiding it from him, which is its own little
No.
special problem,
No.
and she's resentful of his recovery, like, it's a whole thing. Anyways, it's really interesting to watch play out, but, it's tragic. That is also a relationship that
Maybe you know
does
what?
not make it.
I'll watch this season. If I don't do I have to go back and watch other
No,
seasons?
absolutely not, and there's some
Okay, good.
new fun characters on it too. This guy West is really, like, funny and,
Okay.
like, yeah,
Okay.
it's an interesting look. Anyways,
I'll start with this season because I am curious to see Carl and Lindsay. Like that is a very intriguing story because it's relatable to like I can understand it. And so
well, and
yeah,
we're gonna see them work all the way to the conclusion of this marriage isn't gonna happen.
I'll
It's
absolutely
kinda
start watching this
because you
season
see
then.
him trying to love her and trying to make this something it's not, but it's just what it is, so anyways, that's what
Damn.
I watched. What was your antidepressant?
You again,
Thank you, always.
this this podcast, I get to do ketamine tomorrow in the office, so that is gonna be big. How do I form this in a sentence? Because it's not abstract, but listening to my gut this week was an antidepressant, trusting myself, trusting what I knew to be true, you know?
That's huge.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
huge.
And it's spring finally. I'm not a fan of winter. It's fine. I endure it with a cute puffer vest or a cute coat or a clog boot. Like I endure it. But, the sun and the blue sky and a long day is my jam,
I
you
love it.
know? So
I'm
I'm
so
real pumped
happy.
on spring.
Mhm. Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. How about you, friend?
My antidepressant was a friend of mine is out of town for work, and so I get to watch my goddaughter on Saturdays. She takes an improv class in my neighborhood, and this Saturday I picked her up, and we just had the best time. She's 8 years old. She's so cute. She's so funny. She's like a great hang. Like, we just had an amazing afternoon, and I love her so much.
Oh,
And she's so, I don't know, she's so sweet and earnest and adorable. And like, I don't know, I'm just lucky to have like good friends in my life who trust me with their amazing children. And
oh my
like,
God.
it's the first
Yeah.
time we've like hung out together alone, which is like really brave for her. She's little, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird to hang out with even though I've been in her life for the whole time, but it is weird. It's the first time hanging alone and it went great. We do it again this weekend and I can't wait. So
Leo would pay money if he had any
we've
to
hung out
hang out with you
alone.
alone.
We've
Yeah,
had
you
some
guys
alone time,
hang.
which has been
Yes, you
great.
have,
Yes.
which
But the
is
first time is
so.
always a little weird because it's like the calibration's off without mom here. But it's just, yeah.
You're
Anyways,
way more fun than me, dude. You're way more fun than me.
I
Seriously.
mean, yeah, that's the gift of being an auntie. You only,
Yeah.
she literally ate like a Nutella loaf and pizza. Like, you know,
Yeah. I mean,
that's my role.
I love it. I love it. Well, everybody, thank you so much. We are always happy to share our takes with you guys and happy that you're listening. If you have any feedback, questions, what have you, please drop us a DM, drop us a comment on our Instagram, which is at A Therapeutic Dose. You can always email us at atherapeuticdose@gmail.com. Thank you. I don't know, Margaret, anything else?
Nothing else. Just everybody take good care of
Take good
yourselves,
care.
and we'll
Take good
talk
care.
next week.
And, look up Tara Brock. I'll drop her website and her podcast link into the show notes. It's real easy and it can only help, you know? Anyway, we love you all. We wish you all, I don't want to sound like Fraser Crane, but like literally, I wish you all good mental health and just to stay on your own side this week. Trust your gut,
Happy
kind to
spring
your
solstice, everybody.
happy spring
Whee!
solstice. Yes. All right, friend. I love you. I'll
I
talk to
love
you
you.
soon.
Okay.
All right. Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone. Jinx.
Ramona and Margee are, obviously, not doctors and do not provide medical advice. Their content is intended to be used for entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to be, should not be interpreted as, or used as a substitute for medical advice or a diagnosis of any health or fitness problem, condition, or disease, nor a recommendation for a specific test, doctor, care provider, procedure, treatment plan, product, or course of action.
My mom isn't a doctor.